What's up, Freedom Family? You are not going to want to miss this interview with Riley, Mr. Living That Life Bennett.
What's up?
Digital nomad for 4 years. We're just here hanging in the tree.
In a freaking tree.
I'm super excited to share your story, man, because you've traveled over 30 countries. Yep. Digital nomad, 4 years.
4 años.
Just doing so many amazing things, have so many incredible friends. We actually met through Jabril, Mr.
Yes.
Passport Heavy.
Shout out.
And right away,
Jabril.
like, I connected with you like a brother. Actually, this is probably like, you know, the mix between Bill Burr and The Rock right here. Actually, I think I was walking down the street the other day and I was like, is that The Rock? No, that's Bill Burr. Oh no, that's just Riley, you know? And I was like, okay, this guy's dope. But I can't wait to show you guys and share with you his story because it's actually freaking amazing what you've been able to create. And there's so many people who watch my videos and want to make the law of attraction work for them, want to travel the world, want to do these things, but they really need to hear it from someone who's been doing it, not just someone who's watched a couple courses or learned a little bit about it, who's actually done it for a long period of time, not like 2 months and you film a couple videos thinking you're a digital nomad. You've actually, this is your life. So
it's been my life for 4 years, and just for the record, we just went on like a week trip with Jabril and the Passport Heavy crew. Literally before Passport Heavy was created, I used to follow Jabril Agoro's YouTube channel like 5-6 years ago. I was just like a lot of you, sitting on the couch, smoking doobies, eating tacos, whatever the fuck, just dreaming like, whoa, this guy Jabril, he's so tight, he lives out in Thailand. That was literally me, and now I'm in the screen. It took a few years to figure it out, but it's definitely figure-outable, and figure it out. But we're here to you know, guide and inspire, and
100%, man. And we're about to teleport over to the next location to sit down and hash this out so we don't fall out of this tree. But I'm so excited to share this, man, and I've been wanting to interview you for a while, and it's finally here. So guys, we'll teleport back right after the epic intro. Bro, I'm so happy we bought that teleport machine. And guys, if you want one, I'm selling them for $2,099
on Amazon.
They come out in about a week from now, so we'll just stay tuned for that. Anyways,
one day
we're here with Riley Bennett, Mr. Living That Life. And honestly, man, you're just one of the coolest dudes, and I'm just like super happy that you come here, like brother from another mother.
You too, dude.
And I just want to share your story with everybody. I want to share some secrets. I want to share some mindsets. How do you live this digital nomad lifestyle? How do you travel the world full time? And now the world is just your home. I just did a video on this, kind of like 2 minutes, like this is the new way. It's not taught in school, it's not that, but it's the new way. And just give me a little bit of background about you. What got you into this?
It's the career 2.0. So I'll try to keep it relatively short, of course, on my channel, which is called Living That Life. I've been documenting my life as a digital nomad, basically documenting the journey through vlogs and interviews over the last 4 years. Lots of good food in there too as well. I'm a foodie as well. But it started with, after college, so many of us have the desire to travel for a bit. Like, duh, everyone wants to fucking travel. Let's just get that out of the way. Everyone wants to travel in their life. Everyone wants to travel the world, see the world. The big question is, when the fuck are you gonna do that? And so if you ask someone that, it's like, oh, it's always usually someday. So
like Tony Robbins says, the road to someday leads to a town called nowhere. And I fucking love that.
There you go. So it all started actually with a regular ass vacation to Thailand. Basically that sparked the travel bug. So many of us that are like living abroad, doing this live abroad life, that's how it started. It started with a vacation, and then they had an excuse to extend it, or they got hooked on the travel bug, and then they figured out a way to extend it. And the number one way, I would venture to say the only way for extended travel is to have an online income. How do you make an online income? Well, there's various ways. You just gotta fucking figure it out. I'm working on the course finally now on all the ways that my digital nomad friends do it, because over the last 4 years, oh my god, you should see my Facebook. How many Facebook friends I have. It's like all digital nomads, all location independent career professionals, all digital marketers, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that's how it started. A 2-week trip to Thailand, and me and my brother from another, Parker, we both did basically a vacation in Thailand. He actually did 2 months of study abroad in Thailand. I went out to visit him. Me and Danny did, and you just met them. And it was like, whoa! I was like, it was my first time to Asia. This was like a year after college, so I was like 23, and I was like, that was my first time ever outside the country, and that was culture shock.
Yeah.
And I remember it was 2 weeks, typical 2-week vacation, as they say in the 4-hour work week, TOOWEAK. I was like so pissed that we were going back to the airport to go home because I was just getting used to it. And Parker was like, yeah, man, 2 months. That was still not enough. So we were like, yeah, man, what if we got a job to work abroad in Thailand for a year with one of these resorts? He was working the hospitality study abroad program. So we went back home and we were like, how are we going to get a job? Just work abroad for a year. Just very simple. And a lot of us have that desire. It's just how you're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
And the key decision was we moved into an apartment together, actually a 1-bedroom apartment. So I slept on the couch for a year, and we were working our jobs, corporate jobs, and we decided not to sign up for cable TV, but to only watch YouTube. So only sign up for internet and plugged in the Apple TV to our little TV, and started streaming a lot of YouTube. And that is what changed our lives, because we ended up finding channels like what we just mentioned before, Jabril's channel, and also Johnny FD's channel. So shout out to those 2 motherfuckers. Those are the top 2 channels that we would watch, and they're basically who I am now. They are digital nomads who were documenting their life based in
it's so
Thailand.
interesting, man, right? It's like you're doing what changed your life.
Yeah.
Because you know how much it's going to change other people's lives. And that's the same with me with reading books and watching these videos. I do these videos because I watched so many of these videos and it changed my life. Yeah. It's the whole pay it forward system, and it feels so good to give that, because like those guys, you'll never be able to repay them, you know?
Yeah.
Because there's no amount of money that can actually give you the freedom that you have. Like in terms of just money, but stuck in a certain location would never be freedom to you. They actually gave you new mindsets and new ways of thinking in order to be able to do this, which is amazing. And like that was like after your long mud wrestling career, but like, you know, but
little do you guys know.
But no, for real. How was it getting out of like the college life? Because I never went to college, but I know a lot of people either went to college or just went to, high school and went through the whole 12 years. Yeah. I kind of think they're both almost the same thing. The only difference is college, you're kind of deciding on a career. So what was life after high school and then going through college? Like what was going on in your mind through that process?
Yeah, that's great question. So I did graduate with my degree, but you guys who are still in high school or still teenagers, not even in high school yet, or in college, and you feel like something's not right. I did an interview with Evan Teague. He dropped out after 1 or 2 years, and I just interviewed him last week here in Canggu.
Yeah, he's a copywriter.
Yeah, I have several interviews with him. All, Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia. We actually came to the same exact conference in Chiang Mai, October 2014, that got us both started. Anyway, but he said it was just a feeling. It was just a feeling that it wasn't right. And that's the key. You don't need a more complicated answer than that. Yeah. And as people in Bali would say, he listened to his heart. Some people would say it's his gut feeling. Yes. Some people would say it's your intuition. But this, I'm realizing more and more, this is, as Comet would say, like, maybe it's your spirit guide, listen to that. You know, whatever you want to call it.
Whatever you want to call it, yes.
This is the key. This is the key thing that I'm trying to preach now. More is like, nothing is more important than do you. Yes. Listen to yourself. Your life is not your parents' life. Your life is not your grandparents' life. Your life is not your fucking college advisor's life. First
or
of
your
all,
society's life, or any of it.
Yeah, you need to listen to fucking you, and it's already out. The cat's out of the bag. There's already thousands of us living this freedom type career. Yes. So if you're thinking about doing this, then don't wait any longer. Do it. That's all we're here to say. If
100.
You're finding this video, you're already kind of on that path, this alternative, thinking about alternative shit. So all we're here to do, like the biggest value my channel provides, is just to fucking kick people through the door.
Yes.
Because they've already discovered me, because they're searching for like,
they already
searching
want it, right? And this happens to me all the time too. I'll get messages on Instagram and YouTube and things, and it's not necessarily an internet marketing tip that helps them, but it's watching the lifestyle and understanding that it's possible. So if there's no belief, there's no action. So as soon as someone believes it's possible, there becomes action. So right now, the whole understanding of what you're saying is just like, if you have that gut feeling that you want this, you have to move into action. And there isn't any excuse anymore like there was when the internet first started, when there was barely anybody doing this. Now there's thousands of people doing it. There's codes. There's, you know, the footprints in the sand. You know, you can like follow the steps. And of course things change, but overall it's a mindset. And when you get the mindset, that's where it all changes. But I love that in the Matrix when Neo comes to Morpheus, and Morpheus just like, what you know you can't explain, but you felt it your entire life, like a splinter in your mind driving you mad. If you have this splinter in your mind, even if no one else believes it's possible around you, if no one thinks that you can do it, if everyone's saying that it's all bullshit, that everyone's scamming to do this life, or whatever it is that people around you are saying, no matter what, if you have that feeling and you're seeing and you can tell inside that it is true, then you have to freaking do it. So tell me, when you did go to Thailand and you did start watching Jabril's videos, what did you start doing?
So yeah, like back when what we were saying with the Matrix and this gut feeling. So I think everyone, as I was saying in the beginning, has this gut feeling that they need to see the world. I think that's an innate human thing, especially in this modern day and time where we have flying fucking planes, flying buses, and fucking telepathic communication
and teleports like we have. Like there's no
planes
excuse.
are basically teleporters, but there's just a little bit of buffer in between. Like we can literally teleport across the planet.
And as of 150 years ago, or whatever the exact number is, that was never possible. You had to take a boat for however long.
So I say this all in the first section of my digital nomad university course, blueprint, whatever you want to call it. It's like the first reason is it's fucking possible now for the first generation ever. Our parents could not do this.
No.
Our parents could not, let alone our fucking grandparents. So it's possible to have a career where you can live anywhere, control your time, and as you were saying earlier, like how much is this worth? How much debt do I need to repay, you know, theoretically to Jabril and Johnny for this like insight or whatever? $10 million?
What is it?
What is it? 10 million, 20 million, 100 million?
It all comes down to how valuable is your time.
Exactly.
And your time there's no amount of money. If somebody's on their deathbed right now, and let's say they want to experience the world, would they rather take going back in time 80 years, or would they rather take freaking $10 million in death? You know? So it's like you have to ask yourself this. Of course we want to live. We want to experience. It's in us to adventure and discover. This is a human thing. That's why we've gone to every section on the planet. That's why there's humans everywhere, because that is in us. And to be able to do that now by going on the internet and pressing some buttons and then a plane ticket to
exactly. You literally do this to teleport. And you guys want to know how to teleport? Okay, you go and you type in this code. You type in Expedia.com, and then you move around and you look for these secret buttons, and you select where you want to go on the planet Earth, and you just keep clicking all the way, follow the instructions, and then you put in your credit card, and then it will say confirmed, and then you go on your phone, and then when the date comes, you go to this app called Uber, and you type in your location, and then you type in the location of the airport. And then you just press that button, and then next thing you know it, you're teleported across the planet.
It's pretty fucking amazing. And you can also teleport with your fingers messages to people anywhere in the world who you resonate with, who you're like, I really want to hang out with those people, like you do with Jabril now. You know, I do with all these people, Brian Swan, all these people. I watched their videos 7 years ago, and then I just decided I'm going to type and then teleport to wherever they are in the planet. And then I type in some buttons, and then I get on the plane and I teleport there. It's so crazy. So people like all the time, this is one of the things, I don't have any friends that are like me. I don't have any people around me that think this way, that think like I do. You might be right. That means you got to go on the interwebs and find those people that are your tribe, like these videos. And a lot of the people that have been in my comments, I've become friends with. right? They follow my videos, they watch these videos, and then they message me when they're in Canggu or something. It's like, yeah, of course, let's meet up.
Yeah.
You know, and then a lot of them are making money doing this, that. I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, that just makes me so excited because that's who I was.
Yeah.
You know, it's just unbelievable. It's just there. It's so possible. And a lot of people on my channel are from 25 to 35, even older. And it's like, that's still possible.
Oh, yeah.
There's a level, though, of letting go that has to happen usually at those times. Because sometimes you got a house, a car, a this and that. Sometimes you just got to be able to let go of the nut. Like I talk about the story of the tree in Africa to catch monkeys. They put a nut in the tree, they hollow it out. They hollow out the tree, they put the nut in, the monkey grabs it, its fist is too big, can't pull it out. So it tries to escape, and then the hunter comes, it's watching the hunter, and the hunter just kills it because it can't let go. It's too greedy. Can't let go. And then it trades its life for that. How many people are trading their life for the things that they have, that they own? I'm gonna keep my house, I'm gonna keep, it's the scarcity mind, and then they miss out on life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, some people say, digital nomads, why are you trying to escape life? And then the comeback would be, actually, we're trying to let life not escape us.
That's a perfect quote, and it's the same idea of somebody saying like, why would you do that? And I always just say, why not? Yeah. I'm gonna go with always why not first before why, you know? Yeah. Because if there's a really good reason why not, okay, awesome, but I want to like try the thing. Yeah. I want to experience things. Wisdom comes from multiple perspectives and like multiple experiences. It doesn't come from staying in the same place with the same friends around the same people. Like, you don't get wisdom from that. Yeah. You get a closed mind. Yeah. So please get into what it is that you did when you were in Thailand to start to make income.
So the first point of, so it starts with the desire to travel. All right, that's in here. Desire to travel and explore and have an exciting life. Yeah. As the 4-hour work week says.
For the hero's journey.
You know, we all want to be happy. You know, if you ask someone, what do you want to do with your life? They say, oh, I want to be happy. Tim Ferriss would argue they actually mean excitement. Yeah. Happiness actually means excitement. So everyone wants to have an exciting life. And in the book he says, pursue what excites you. So whether that's travel or... But we need to make an income, okay? That's the basis of all living, basically, okay? So you need to figure out how to do this from a laptop, how to do it remotely. And we happen to follow Johnny FD's channel. And he was doing dropshipping, high-ticket dropshipping. And the course that he took/recommended was called Dropship Lifestyle. So, what do you do when you want to learn something? You go to college. So we went back to college, got a degree in online marketing, cost $100,000. Just kidding. Obviously we didn't do that. That's retarded.
Man, I'm so dumb that I actually freaking believed you for a second.
I can do good with those fake sentences. I can keep a straight face. But no, we bought an online course for $600. We bought Dropship Lifestyle for $600. It goes for like $3,000 now.
Yeah.
But this was like 4 years ago, and we learned about how to set up an online dropshipping store, and we were running that for about. This was our first really online project, but we knew. Back to mindset thing, and as I look in hindsight, it's like, oh, no wonder it came true. Because our mindset was, if Johnny can do it, then why the fuck can't we?
Yeah, 100%.
We didn't realize it at the time, but I'm looking back, I'm like, oh, duh. Like, if you have that mindset, then you're just gonna keep chipping away until it's possible. Yeah. We knew it was possible. We knew we were gonna get there. It's just a matter of how long it's gonna take to figure it out and actually start making consistent income.
Yeah.
So, around the time that we bought the course, they announced that they're having their first annual retreat, and it just so happened to be in Thailand.
Perfect.
Kind of not a coincidence because Johnny was based in Thailand. Anton met Johnny in Thailand. Anyway, so we were like, perfect. So we put October 2014 down on the calendar. This was earlier in 2014, and we're like, no matter what, we know we need to go to that conference because and synergistically with this course, we somehow discovered Tim Ferriss's blog, and then the 4-hour work week. I got it on audiobook. I put it into my car connected to my iPod when I was driving around knocking doors. This was my job. It was
Dude, it's so crazy
sales.
how many of us all have the same story of once we got into the audios, no matter what it was we were doing, between anything that we were doing, whether it's going to the gym, in between your job, at your job, whatever it is, we had these earbuds in or our car and we were just listening to these audios over and over.
It's like, it's synonymous to like converting you to like a religion or some shit. Like call it going to church like every Sunday and you'd be like getting this information. So as Tim Ferriss says in the book, obviously you are what you consume and you are the average of the people that you hang around most.
Which includes the audiobooks in your ear.
Exactly. It's just that we are products of our environment. Yes. Everyone knows this is true. So that's just fucking true. And so we understood that. And so we're like, if we go to this conference, we're going to be surrounded by tons of other digital nomads, entrepreneurs, travel-minded people. And we know that's going to help us figure it out. And so October was rolling around, our dropshipping stores. Now, mind you, of course, we were working on this, building this nights and weekends. Huge thing you must understand. To break free from your job, you must work on your side hustle nights and weekends, or maybe mornings or whatever, but you must sacrifice some TV shows. Luckily we didn't have TV, so there's no more of those wasteless regular season NBA games. Like,
that's really crazy what happens when you do like a move to Asia or something. This is why it's really important for people to try to do it as early as they can. And I they do have to have some income coming in at that point. But when you start to move to these other places, you cut out a lot of that Western world of the normal thing, the TV, the sports, so this, that. And I love sports and I love TV and of course, I'm a human being. Yeah. But to not be around it as much, you don't have that same addiction of doing it all the time. Yeah. Because I remember when I was Seinfeld, Simpsons, boom, boom, like always watching this kind of stuff. Yeah. And then when I got into more business stuff and I started listening to audios, just started taking up my time in other spaces. And then I wanted to like put my time into things that actually made me feel good when I went to sleep at night. Yeah. Absolutely. And this is one of the, I think, 5 key life hacks that I write about that actually made my dream turn into reality. And I have a video on, actually I did a speech about this at the Nomad Summit 2017. You wanna summarize these or give like 3 and then let's link to the video so they can get the other 5? At my speech at Nomad Summit 2017 in Chiang Mai, which by the way, it's every January in Chiang Mai, Thailand, and I always throw that out there because it takes an excuse a lot of the time to travel. Yes. And so I always invite my subscribers and everyone to go to the Nomad Summit every January in Chiang Mai. And whether it's just for a 2-week vacation, come to connect with all the nomads, people who are doing the same thing, or make the leap inevitably and stay for a number of months, or just like take 6 months off your job, work on your side hustle full-time for a while. Hey, if it doesn't work out full-time, then go back to your job, and I'll get back to that in a second. Yeah. Yes, the life hacks, what I talked about there, and you can search my video on YouTube, was the number one thing we already mentioned was no TV, only YouTube. Yeah. Okay, because YouTube, the world just exists on YouTube. Everything exists on YouTube. There's people doing this, there's people doing, do you want to be a fucking cowboy? There's people living cowboy life on there. Yeah. Just type in how you want to live and someone's doing it. I really like what you're saying too, and there's 2 pieces. So one is when you watch YouTube, yes, a lot of people can waste a lot of time on YouTube as well. But here's the difference. These are average people making incomes on YouTube. So by just actually watching different types of channel and different things, you're realizing, oh my God, all these people are actually building a business doing this. To some level. You know, some of them might just be doing it because they have so many views and just getting paid from views. Some have a business behind it. But just look at the things that they're doing. And like I've been doing this for 9 months now, like taking this seriously and putting out videos, and it's not growing super fast, but I keep looking at little things, and over the next 2 years I'm gonna have a very big channel because I'm gonna learn all the things as I watch other channels, as I learn from people like yourself. You have 50,000 subscribers at this point. You just start to see things. But if you just watch TV, what are you getting out of it? Yeah, that's a huge step. And so the kind of paradox to that is people that are watching this are already watching YouTube. Yeah. So which is, I always remind you, like, share this in your group chats and your Facebook groups. Fucking text this to a friend or whatever, because it's up to you
to help your friends also stop, because you're already watching YouTube.
Yeah,
so
and if you want your friends to change, help them. You know,
and
help them see what you find. And I always share my best videos with all my friends because I'm like, I want the next time we hang out, we get to talk about this stuff.
And a key thing to understand too, that people are afraid of detachment too. People are attached to their shows. And I try to remind people that you can still watch your shows via streaming. So if you get an Apple TV or a Chromecast or a freaking streaming stick, you can still watch your shows on demand via these apps or whatever. So you can still watch your XYZ show, okay? Another life hack was, I already mentioned it, go to a conference. That was like my life hack number 4, because when you go to conferences, magic happens, you know. Call them masterminds, whatever you want.
Complete magic happens when you get around like minds.
Mastermind.
Yeah.
Jabril organized this, so again, shout out to Jabril for connecting us. He put on this like 20 entrepreneur mastermind / retreat to New Bonita.
Where we got to get filmed the whole time, so we can. Yeah, it's so cool, man. And the thing that I love what you said about the masterminds, having the excuse to go somewhere. And I haven't actually thought about it from that perspective. Thought about it other similar ways, but I like that. It's like, give someone an excuse, so not an excuse just for themselves. They already want the excuse, but an excuse to their parents, an excuse to their spouse to take them on a trip. An excuse, you know, there's an excuse to go somewhere, and it can benefit other people, and it's not just, oh, I'm just going on a trip to Thailand. Yeah. It's like, no, I'm going on a trip so I can meet these people and do that. It's really cool.
Yeah. So I actually have a whole like section on this called The Transition in my Digital Nomad University course. It's about how to frame it to your parents, how to frame it to your friends, with your girlfriend, boyfriend, your job. There's different ways to frame it. Let's say, you know, you want to be a digital nomad, but you don't need to frame it necessarily like you're leaving everything. One quick tip is you can just frame it like you're taking a few months off from your job. Or you're going on an extended workcation. You know, like, hey, I'm working on this this digital product. You know, I'm just gonna take a few months and work on it full time, but then I'm gonna go back to my job. Like make it as least scary as possible for everyone, so they don't think you're just like cutting everything and burning bridges. Same thing with your job. You don't need to burn bridges, because I know plenty of nomads that, you know, located out to Chiang Mai to do exactly that, work full time on their hustle, see if they can get it making a profit, full-time profit, and after a number of months, it's not really getting traction. So Jacob is one guy example. Now he's making more money than me, but he went back to his job for like a year, saved up. Eric Engels as well. I just interviewed him in Chiang Mai last month. He's OG subscriber from Canada. He was working like up in the tundra delivering food. Interview you can check on my channel. But anyway, he came to the Nomad Summit 2017, stayed for like a couple months, was working on some e-commerce business. I forget the model. Didn't really catch traction. Went home, worked for another 9 months, came back out to the Nomad Summit. It's 2019. And now he's been in Chiang Mai for like 4 months now. And now he's finally making that 1 to 2K consistent profit. So it's not going to necessarily always happen your first run. But this is a huge question people ask me is, should I have a consistent side hustle income or online income before I leave my job? Well, the truth is, it depends on your personal situation. Yeah, I think if you have a really good paying job and you're like stacking the cheese, I say hang on to that as long as you can until you just are done, and you'll know when you're done, when you're completely burned out. That way you have a huge cushion to blast off. And
you can, like, for me, if I was working a high-paying job when I got into this up front, what I would have immediately done is just started putting that money into so much testing of traffic. Like, that money can go to people to outsource things to. It can go to many VAs. It can go to like learning how to like build a team. It can go to all these things. So by the time you actually quit, you have a full team that now allows you to travel while your team is doing the work for you. Yeah. So I would put, like, the longer you have that job, if you're working 14 hours a day by yourself with no money, that's really hard to build a business. I could build a big business off working 1 to 2 hours a day if I have the right team.
Yeah, exactly.
So I would put my money into finding people who are smarter than me in certain areas and paying them to help me build this business while I'm only working 1 to 2 hours on the vision and talking to the team and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. That's ideal, obviously.
Ideal.
But, you know,
Not everyone has that.
Yeah, not everyone can save, you know, like 10, 20, 30, 40K. This is a big question. You may be wondering, how much money did I have saved up when I blasted off? It was around 8K US.
Yeah.
That's a huge fucking question, you know, that people, not everyone like mentions, but that's a huge thing. I saved that up.
Huge.
From
So you're a risk taker like me. So when I did it, I was like, I'm gonna do it regardless.
Yeah, I was gonna do it regardless, but it also depends on your job. So if you have a job that you can bounce right back into, then it's not really a risk. It's just taking some time off.
Totally.
And you know, let's say I have 8K saved up. So I was like, all right, that can be 6 months of living in Chiang Mai with like 2K on the side to invest in your business. I look back in hindsight, I wish I had 20K. I had 20K saved up at one point, but then I did the stupidest thing. I bought a car. I bought a car for 10K because like that's what you do. Like I bought this like Beamer from my friend who's like a Beamer dealer. Yeah. Because I wanted, and maybe you guys can relate. I wanted. It was my first time, you know, in my life making, you know, corporate money, whatever. Yeah. And I needed something to prove my worth or whatever, you know.
100%. I know.
So people buy things.
We all feel this.
We all feel it. And I look back, I was just like, oh my God, that 10K. That's a full-blown like couple Amazon products. Holy shit! That can make you $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 a month passively. Holy shit! So anyway, hindsight 2020. But anyways, so yeah, don't buy a car or whatever. Save up as much as you can, and then you know, it depends on your situation. If you have a really high-paying job that you can't take 6 months off and come back to, then weigh that into factor. But if you're doing a regular sales job like me, they'll hire me right back. I can take a year off, 6 months, so then it makes perfectly logical sense. It's not that big of a risk to go live in Chiang Mai for 6 months, work full-time on your online business, because let's be honest, I know it's very hard to be working nights and weekends on your side hustle, because I was there after work. I always felt tired. I just want to like go to bed. And so it makes a lot of sense for a lot of people to just take time off from your job to work on your side hustle. And somewhere like Chiang Mai, this needs to be said, you can live on $1,000 a month and have a pretty balanced life. You can see all my Chiang Mai vlogs.
Just so crazy to me, like how cheap that is.
Yeah, and so that's why Chiang Mai is so popular, for people to work on their own projects for at least half the cost of living that you're living in.
This is like the geo arbitrage, right? We live in a world now where you can make your money on the internet. You don't have to make that much, and you can live somewhere that's much cheaper. And you can travel to multiple places doing this. And some people will look at that and say like, oh, that's a bad thing or something. The people who are jealous of this will try to make you seem like you're doing something bad. But it's like, no, this is the world that we live in. And the world's only going to get more interconnected. But the other part about moving to somewhere like Chiang Mai or Bali or whatever is you get around like-minded people. So the thing that I get from people the most is they're so lonely. They're trying to do this. They don't have anyone there to support them. Everyone around them is saying they can't do it. So getting away from that environment is one of the greatest things. But yeah, man, I just want to summarize kind of what we talked about and then share with people some links of where they can find you and how they can follow your channel, learn more about this whole digital nomad thing. But I just love what you were saying, man. You have to have that feeling. And if you have that feeling, and all of us have that feeling in some way or another. It doesn't mean you want to be a digital nomad, but you have a feeling inside you that things are not right and you should be aligned with something different. And when you have that, you have to move in that direction. You've got to do something to do it. And then you got to just believe that it's possible by watching these videos. Start positively brainwashing yourself. Put all of this in from all angles and just start to realize this is so possible. It's like it becomes your reality because all you think about is how possible it is. You'll start talking to other people and they'll be thinking it's crazy, but your brain is so rewired that you're like, they're crazy now, you know, because you're so outside of society in that whole matrix. And just this mindset of like getting to these events, getting around the right people, trying to meet the people that you're learning from, and then sharing that journey. There's so many people who are watching this too. Like, you can start sharing your journey. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna figure this out. As you're doing that, you don't have to say I'm becoming a millionaire or blah blah blah. Say I'm doing this journey, and then you can meet more like-minded people and send testimonial videos to people that you appreciate and all that stuff, man. So thank you so much for sharing this. So much of this are things that I haven't thought about in so long with the digital nomad. But where can people find you? Instagram, YouTube, website?
Everywhere. Living that life.
Living that life.
Check
in
it
the
out.
description.
And one thing that it's a huge kind of nugget that I'm gonna throw out there for beginners, because if you're watching this, you're on this path, and I'm kind of trying to help people figure it out, put together the ones and twos and the nuts and bolts. But this is a huge concept. All right, there's three categories of earning income remotely. You can be a remote employee, so just work from your company remotely. We didn't say that yet. That's a huge
cool.
thing.
Yeah, and that's
and
cool.
more and more every month, I meet more remote
People doing
employees.
that. Yeah, I meet them
because
all
more
the time.
companies are doing this. Because it makes sense. Because once one big company starts doing it, the other ones have to compete. Because if the other companies don't let their employees
they'll
work
lose them.
remotely, they'll lose them to the companies that do. So this wave is happening. Second is be a freelancer. That's where you do, you're an independent contractor and you do tasks through the internet for companies and clients. Third, and this is the best way, it's what we all will strive for, is to own an online business or a business that can be run remotely. And what does that mean? It means you are paid 24/7.
You have control.
You own a system, you own something that you can build and then sell. So those are the three categories. So, and as I was saying to you at lunch today, the most common question I get is, okay, Riley, living that life. Okay, we fucking get it. How do I live that life too? As I said at the beginning of this podcast, it starts with earning income online. That is going to free up your time. And of course your location too. So you can live out here in somewhere that the cost of living is half. It's also tropical, which arguably makes you a lot more happy. And I don't know which is more beneficial, the community or the cost of living being half. It's they're both so good.
Yeah.
It's like a freaking outsourced San Francisco startup campus tropical paradise out here.
Damn.
It's fucking ridiculous.
I could not have said that better.
We didn't even get into living in Bali, which is a whole
Yeah.
nother video that I have videos he does on that. It's fucking absolute freaking heaven out here. Let's just be honest. So those are the three ways. And then, so the new course that I'm working on is outlining all the different methods within those three categories. So owning an online business. So what are the e-commerce methods? What are the digital product methods? What are the freelancing methods? The ones that are still working today, not the old shit. And then if I think being a remote employee is possible in my company, I've interviewed people who are and who have straight up negotiated remote work agreements with their bosses and straight up manifested that and made it happen.
Yeah.
And so
because they want results at the end of the day.
yeah, exactly. So that's my new course on the nuts and bolts. But that's kind of where I'm at.
As soon as the course releases, guys, I will let you guys know first and give you access to that. And
VIP access.
yeah, man, because and I just want to help more people do this. Why not have more amazing friends all over the world that are doing this stuff? And the world is not gonna slow down and stop. This wave's gonna get bigger and bigger. There's gonna get to a point where there's barely anybody working regular 9 to 5s.
Yeah.
Why is it gonna work that way? That's just an old way of doing things.
Yeah.
There still will be people doing it, and actually there's gonna be some places that are gonna do it, but it's gonna be so cool because everyone's just gonna move together somewhere.
Yeah.
And build a little village like this. Almost that's what we do here.
No, that's already what's happening in Canggu and Chiang Mai.
Exactly.
It's freaking ridiculous. There was just a video on this channel called Valuetainment. He was saying Google, Apple, Microsoft, so apparently they publicly came out and said they're no longer requiring college degrees. Why? Because the textbooks can't keep up with the digital marketing trends.
100%. 100%. School is too slow for how fast the world is moving
Google,
forward.
Apple, and all these tech companies are realizing this. So what I heard through the grapevine is Google is going to create their own university that's teaching only the cutting edge, not only the current cutting edge, teaching what's going to be happening next year and the year after.
Yes.
Makes logical sense.
Exponential
right?
growth. They're catching it ahead of time.
So they need to teach the next thing to people. And Google, they're doing this. Anyway, I heard it. But it all ties into what we're saying is...
Dude, at the end of the day, we need to learn how to learn. We need to become adaptable. If we have a vision of what we want, we can make it happen. We can find the people. We can create the business. Anything is possible within the laws of physics. We got to stop having limiting beliefs. Let's do this. The road to someday leads to a town called nowhere. No more.
Yeah.
Let's go, guys. I want to see you out here.
You don't need college. If you're still wondering about that, if you think college maybe... So if you want to be an entrepreneur living like us, if you want to do your own thing in life, if you want to be independent in life, be a creative, college, don't go to college.
Yeah. You heard it here.
I'm just saying, I'm just gonna keep it 1000% real. It's gonna be tough. It's tough to follow your heart.
Yeah.
This is the theme.
Because you go against everyone else. Yeah.
It's tough. But listen to my plenty of interviews with college dropouts. It's tough, but this is what we're saying. You have to be fucking strong. Listen to your fucking heart and actually fucking take action about it.
Yeah.
Your parents, Evan said his parents cried when they found out. Even his friends were like, bro, are you sure you're throwing away this big opportunity?
Yeah.
College is not an opportunity anymore. Like we said, if you want to do your own thing, college is part of this.
It's an opportunity for someone who wants that life.
Yeah.
If you want to be the engineer, if you want to be the this, and that's the only path to it, because if you don't have a degree, you can't do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if you want to follow your heart, and it's not the thing. Yeah. So, man, thank you so much. We will see you guys in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Good
Peace.
shit.